Hello everybody. In this video we will be taking a look at the 2026 Senate elections as of December 2025. We'll go ahead and fill this map out, put in the safe blue states. That'll be Oregon, Illinois, Colorado, Rhode Island, Delaware, Massachusetts. And then we can also include New Jersey, Virginia, New Mexico in that bunch. So we have state of New Mexico going about 11 points for the Democrat nominee. And then both Virginia and New Jersey are at a 13-point win as of now for the Democrat nominee in these two states. So that's all. And then we can also put Maine. That's a 10-point win for the Democrat nominee here in the state of Minnesota. Now we'll fill out the safe Republican states. This will be Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia. All these states will be 10 points or more for the Republican nominees here. Now we'll fill out the likely blue states. We'll start off with the state of Maine. This will be about a 9-point win for whoever the Democrat nominee is here, which will either be Janet Mills or Graham Plattner. Whichever is the nominee here, I believe, will be able to defeat Susan Collins because her approval rating has been in much decline ever since 2020, even though she was able to outperform the polls by a large amount and then win by 8.5 points, while Biden wins the state by about 9 points there. So I think this will be the year where Susan Collins finally goes down. New Hampshire as well is about a 8-point win for Chris Pappas. He's a strong candidate in his House election, and he usually outperforms by a decent amount. Republicans have John Sununu on their side, but with this blue year environment, then it'll be hard to see that actually helping Republicans there. So about an 8-point win for Pappas. And that looks to be it for the likely blue states. Actually, we can include the state of Michigan. This is be about a 5-point win, just barely over that 5-point margin there. As we see in these off-year elections, typically Michigan is bluer because they don't have that Trump base voting very well in these off-year elections. So that'll help Democrats out, as we saw in 2018. Stabenow won by 6.5 points. I expect that to be a little narrower just because of the open race. So about a 5-point win though, which is still a decent shift towards the left. Jon Ossoff in Georgia, he's coming out with a huge fundraising advantage in this state. He was able to narrowly win in 2020 with the runoff, being able to defeat David Perdue, in which he first won the initial round, but then Ossoff was able to beat Perdue in the runoff. With him being the incumbent and raising so much money, he will be able to defeat Mike Collins decently in 2026. And typically Georgia likes blue senators. Now we'll fill out all these likely red states. We have a bunch of them. We have the state of Mississippi. The reason this one is not over 10 points is because Hyde Smith is a big underperformer. She won by almost 10 points in 2020, and then even when there was a special election in 2018, she underperforms by a large amount on the same ballot as Wicker, which he won by 19, and then Hyde Smith only wins by 7. So she is a huge underperformer, and we will definitely see her win by about 9 points, which is under that 10-point margin there. State of Texas, about an 8-point win for the Republican nominee here. Saw John Cornyn in 2020. He won by 9.5 points there. He did decently there, outperforming Trump's margin in 2020. But we did see in 2024 the state overall on the presidential level has shifted towards the right, and then Ted Cruz, he was able to win by a decent amount more than he did in 2018, while still underperforming John Cornyn's margin in 2020. partially because Cruz is a weaker candidate, and then they ran Colin Allred, who was a decent fit for the Democrats. In 2026, I believe Paxton, or whoever the Republican nominee is probably going to be Paxton most likely. Because Paxton, whoever it is, it'll probably be about an 8-point win. If it's another Republican nominee, it'll probably go about 10 points. But since we're assuming Paxton's the Republican nominee, I think it'll be about an 8-point win for him in 2026. State of Kansas, this one will go right under 10 points. We see Marshall here wins by 11.5 points, and the state overall has been trending towards the left. I think we will definitely see the state go under 10 points with this environment and some of the Trump base not turning out the best. And state of Nebraska, we can put this one at about a 6-point win. Probably will perform pretty much in line with Deb Fischer in 2024 because we have Dan Osborne running again to try to defeat Pete Ricketts, which he's able to pull support from pretty much every Democrat and then several Republicans as well, which will help him out. In this bluer year, I think Ricketts will be able to hold on by 6 points. If this was a presidential year, he'd probably win by a safe margin, but about 6 points for him. Iowa as well, see about a 6-point win. Typically, we see she underperformed Trump slightly in 2020. And the state overall is pretty swingy towards the opposite direction. So, like in 2022, we had Biden in the White House. So then Grassley's able to win by a safe red. But then in 2018, the governor election, we'll pull that up. In 2018, right there, Iowa typically goes closer on governor elections. So I think we'll see the same thing happen in 2026 on the Senate level, where instead of it going lean, it'll probably be about a 6-point win since Republicans have a decent candidate there. But still underperforms Trump's 13-point margin significantly. And now we'll go to the lean blue state. As you can guess, it's North Carolina. We have it about a 4.5-point win for Roy Cooper. He's already fundraising a decent amount of money, and Michael Whatley is not doing as strong as what many people were hoping for. But Roy Cooper has won so many times statewide. He overperforms pretty much every candidate possible, and we can see those urban areas turning out decently for Cooper in this kind of election. In the rural areas, Cooper's able to do decent as well, even though they're still red, but he's able to do well enough to win the state by a decent margin here. And now, Ohio, that's a lean red state. Be about a 4-point win for Husted. He's going up against Sherrod Brown once again, who lost as an incumbent in 2024 to Bernie Moreno, with Trump at the top of the ticket, winning by about 11 points in the state. So, with that being said, Husted is a stronger candidate than Moreno, but Brown in a blue year, could he pull it off? It's certainly possible, but right now it'd be harder to see that with him not being the incumbent and the way the state has shifted towards the right. But I do expect this race to be under 5 points. Be decently close. And the state of Alaska, I'm moving that to a 2-point win. I don't think it'll be tilt like I had it on my last prediction. I think Republicans will be able to do okay on this. If Peltola runs, things could get interesting, but I'm assuming she's running, and I think with her having lost in 2024, that might not make it look the best for her, but she's got a great shot compared to other Democrat nominees and could make this race close. But as of now, I've got Sullivan winning by 2 points here. So a couple margin changes here and there from my last prediction, but still the same, where we have 51 Republicans and 49 Democrats in the Senate. Democrats are able to flip North Carolina and Maine pretty easily, and then Republicans hold on to Ohio and Alaska, and those would be two states Democrats could do. They could flip these two states if they want to gain the majority in 2026. But for now, this is the final prediction. Thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to comment down below, like and subscribe. Let me know what you agree or disagree on, and bye.